we're layering up the flavors with the meal combining the best of the Mediterranean. Lamb bolognese, homemade ricotta cheese, smoky eggplant, plus pasta layered up to make a dish to feed the whole family and then some. It's a decadent, delicious dish with some sneaky shortcuts to make it work for a weeknight. That's ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Chef.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome
it.
to the kitchen. I'm Angie Corley. So here to guide us through a very Greek take on pasta night is Chef Morgan Figs from St. Pete Mediterranean restaurant Allelo. So good to have you. First time here, a restaurant fave of mine, delicious, incredible dishes, and you've got shortcuts, which we are so excited about because this might traditionally not be super fast, but she's going to share some tips to get us right to the table without needing to take a day in the kitchen. And
Yes.
I think that's important. Such a dish, it reminds me of like a Greek lasagna maybe, for
Yes.
those who haven't tried.
It's pretty much like a Greek lasagna, yep.
All right, so traditionally, a lasagna can take a long time.
Yes.
But you're going to get us through it. Okay,
I
so
am.
we've been getting busy here in the kitchen.
Yes.
Browning some lamb.
Yes, it's ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and drain off all the fat.
All right.
And then we're going to sweat our vegetables right afterwards.
Now, could this be any,
wanna
and I
help
can
me
help
slip
you,
it in there?
sure.
Yeah.
Could this be any meat? I know we're using wonderful lamb.
Yes, you can use any meat. Traditionally, moussaka is made with lamb, but people do use
Okay.
ground beef instead, which is not a
Oh,
problem.
that's okay. All right.
So now that we've drained our lamb, we're going to
Wow,
add
that's
just
a lot of fat.
It is.
And
it
you
is.
must drain that.
Yes. You're going to add just a tiny bit of the fat back into it to sweat our vegetables into.
Yeah. Oh, that's smart.
So you can keep incorporating that flavor. All right.
All right.
We're going to start with our onions.
Okay.
And then if you want to pass me the
I
celery and
mean, these cuts are
carrots.
pretty impressive here, Chef.
Thank
How
you.
long does that take to master? Kind of the mirror pot
Not
here.
too long, but it takes a little bit of practice.
So everything is kind of fine. Is there a reason you
It's
cut
like
it so
a small dice. It helps it cook down a little faster, especially when you're trying to do this on a weeknight.
Makes sense.
It'll help a lot with the cooking process itself.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to go ahead and cut them down smaller. You can do them larger if that's what you really want to do, but you don't have to.
Okay. You know what I see sometimes in the store to make it easy? These are chopped up. You can
Yes.
buy them already done if you really want to
can.
like another shortcut.
You're looking at like about a small dice. You can go up to a medium. It'll be fine too.
Great. And how long are these going to kind of saute and soften?
They're going to sweat for like 5 to 10 minutes. It depends on how soft you like your vegetables
Okay.
whenever you eat them. We're going to go for about a 6-minute sweat on these.
Okay.
And then we're going to add the lamb back in and our rest of our ingredients.
Perfect. All right, so we'll let that sweat down. Now, what do we have in the other pot?
So we have a milk, heavy cream, and salt right now, and then a thyme sachet, which is just thyme wrapped in some cheesecloth to keep the leaves from going everywhere, but you're able to impart the flavor into the cream mixture itself.
And we are literally making homemade ricotta cheese.
Yes.
That is mind-blowing that you can make your own homemade in not that long.
No, it's not
Oh
too
my
bad.
goodness. Okay. So we've let that boil.
We let it come up to about 200, between 195 to 205 degrees. We're looking at least 200, so
And
we're
that's-
at 202 right now, which is exactly where we want
And
it
that's
to be.
very specific. Why such a precise range?
Because if it doesn't get up above it, it won't curdle properly when we add the lemon juice, so it needs to be right at that temperature zone to create the
Wow.
curds for the ricotta itself.
So you want it to curdle?
Yes.
That's a different
Yes.
thinking. Okay.
So now that it's up to that temperature, we're going to add our lemon juice to it.
And that's funny. When I taste normal ricotta, I never taste lemon. Does that disappear, or is it?
Yeah, it depends on how strong you like it. You just add it in, stir it a little bit, and then you're going to see that it starts to curdle.
Curdle.
That's what you want. And then we're just going to shut it off,
Wow.
and then we'll be good to go. We'll set it to the side, let it sit for a couple of minutes, and we're going to strain it, and then we'll be ready to go.
I'm
in a little
amazed
while.
right now. I'm floored. Thank you, Chef. This is amazing. Okay, why not take a quick little break while we watch it all get curdly and yummy? When we come back, Chef is going to share the time-saving sauce shortcut to bring our bolognese together. And that is ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So a Mediterranean meal is on the menu today as we make a moussaka with some Italian inspiration in a recipe shared by my guest chef, Morgan Figs from Allelo over in St. Pete on Beach Drive. One of my favorites, so good. Now listen, if you're just joining us, let me catch you up. So before the break, we browned some delicious lamb and we let all that fat kind of drain off, and then there was a lot of it. We needed to do that. Then we added some carrots, onions and celery, sauteing them during the break, deglazing the pan with some red wine. You said some cab was great.
Yep.
So good. And then, you ready for this? We started making homemade ricotta cheese, heating up heavy cream, some milk, salt, a little sachet of thyme to exactly 200-ish degrees, a little range there.
Between 195 to 205, so 200
Got to be
is
in
a
that
safe
sweet
number.
spot. Then we
Yes.
added some lemon juice, letting it curdle, letting it cool, and we literally have, chef, homemade ricotta cheese.
Yes.
I even did my hands like this because I'm amazed,
to,
right?
Yes.
And now we just,
Now we're
it's
just
time
going
to strain.
Strain it. You just let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes after you stir in the lemon juice, and you just kind of scoop it out into a strainer. You're gonna let it sit for a little while, 30 minutes at minimum, but up to 24 hours if you want to.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Scoop the rest in there.
All right, I'll get to scooping to drain it, and then you're gonna finish kind of sauteing there, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe this. Like, we made cheese. Okay, you did. All right. She made the cheese.
We made it. We made it together.
We did it together. That's right.
We made it together. It's what matters.
Oh my goodness. A little scoop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just tilt it. There, though. Yeah, you can really see the curdles.
Yes. And if you get to the bottom and it gets too difficult, you can easily, pick up the pan.
Just kind of pick it up. Okay, I'm
Yep.
almost at
You
that
want help
point.
with it?
Yeah. All right, we don't want to leave those good curds in there,
Scoop it a little bit.
but we have to let this sit because it is very obviously soupy. We have to let it drain.
Yes.
Do we do a little squeeze now, or just kind of let it?
You just let it drain on itself. I have a tendency to fold the cheesecloth over it just to kind of keep it safe so nothing gets in it.
Okay.
And then we're just going to transfer it to the refrigerator.
Okay. How about we do that? You get the door, I'll place it in there. And
Yes.
how long are we going to let it hang out in the fridge?
At least a half an hour, but you can let it strain for up to 24 hours. It depends on how thick you really like your ricotta cheese.
Oh, and then we'll squeeze it and like a sponge. It just.
Yeah, if you let it sit overnight, you don't even have to squeeze it. Like, you can just
let
squeeze
it-
it straight, and then you can whip it to whatever you would like.
Wow, great. All right, back to that wonderful lamb. So everything is the mirepoix, if you will. It's kind of sauteed and lovely. Should I just do a little
Yep.
toss right in there?
Yeah, perfect.
All right. And this lamb fat that's hanging out in the bowl, we could keep that if we wanted to.
If you wanted to keep it and saute some other things into it, you definitely could.
Lots of flavor in there.
Just
okay.
let it cool down and scrape it up together.
Okay.
All right, so we've added that. Then we're gonna go ahead and add our pomodoro, it's marinara.
And this kind of store-bought. This is what you were saying, one of those shortcuts, right?
Yes, you can buy just a marinara, your favorite marinara that you like the most, and add it to it.
Okay.
And then you're gonna take the heavy cream as well and go ahead and pour that in there.
All right. Oh, a regular bolognese, just different, using lamb instead of beef.
Yeah.
And then,
That's just a little salt, so
salt.
we're just gonna add a little for seasoning.
okay, I was gonna say, chef, we're not gonna put all that in
No,
there.
no, no, not all that, that's a lot. We'll just add a little bit, all right?
Perfect. Give that a little stir.
Yep, and then we're gonna let it simmer for a little bit, get all nice and merry and incorporate all those flavors.
Love that. That looks and smells amazing.
All right?
Do you think lamb is kind of underutilized? Or
I
maybe
do.
people intimidate? What is it about lamb?
I think some people think that it's a little too gamey, but honestly, I feel like it's very underutilized. It's a very great protein that has really good flavor. You can use it in so many different things.
How's that look? All right. Ooh, yeah, one more break. Let that marry together, because up next, the fun part, where you are going to assemble the luscious layers of our moussaka. That's ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Hi, this is Dinner DeeAs, and my guest in the kitchen is Chef Morgan Figs, and she brought us a true taste of the Mediterranean from St. Pete restaurant Allelo. It's a pasta moussaka, and she is sharing literally handy hacks to get us to the table super quick, so it's a perfect thing for a kind of a busy weeknight, which is great. So right now, these are the cheese curds that we let drain in the fridge. All right, so what are we gonna do next?
So we're gonna whip them up a little bit
Okay.
to make it nice and smooth for our moussaka. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and a touch of honey just to sweeten it up. It brightens up that moussaka dish that's sweet and savory at the same time.
So if you just joined us, let me catch you up before the break. We added more flavor to our bolognese by adding back in the cooked lamb, plus marinara sauce, some heavy cream, a little bit of salt, letting it simmer to just the right consistency. And I think we made it. Now, Chef, is this the point where I should get a tasting spoon or fork?
Yes, you should definitely try it now. Make sure it's where the seasoning is. If it needs any more salt or anything, we can add it now before we start building it all.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what we want.
There.
Yeah? No salt needed?
Delicious. That lamb is amazing.
Thank you.
The taste, the flavors, that's great. I don't think it needs anything except another fork.
There you go.
All right, now how's your ricotta doing?
All right, so we're pretty much almost whipped. I'm gonna add a little bit of the honey and salt now, and then we'll give it one more good mix, and we'll be ready to start building our moussaka.
Now, is the honey gonna make it sweet or just add a different flavor, that Greek profile that you're looking for?
It adds just a tiny bit of sweetness to the cheese itself, but you won't really be able to tell the sweetness throughout the moussaka, but it gives it that flavor profile that you really want, that sweet little tiny, like tangy sweetness to it all, which is what you want. It kind of helps level out and balance everything across the board because everything's so savory. This little bit of sweetness really creates a complete different flavor for it all.
Right, now if we didn't have time to make our own ricotta, of course we could probably just go to the shelf or go to the fridge and kind of pick up one.
Yes.
But this truly did not take that long to create. So what an incredible way to elevate a Sunday supper.
Yes.
Yes, impress your guests.
And now we're ready to go with our ricotta cheese. It looks nice. If you want to give it a taste.
Okay, if I have to. Wink, wink. Do you want to taste it as well?
Yes.
Oh.
That's what we're looking for.
That's great. That salt just hits it. It's beautiful. Not too sweet, super creamy. I taste the lemon in there.
Yeah, it's not super strong, but you can still taste the lemon.
That's fantastic. Yeah, fresh ricotta right here before your eyes. Lovely. Now, here's one of the things growing up for me. Lasagna was that dish that we probably would make on a Sunday, and Mom would use it, and we eat it throughout the week. If this is going to last, this is like a great thing maybe to do for a weeknight, yes, and also for the weekends.
Yes.
Now comes the fun part.
Yes.
It's kind of nice to layer
now
up.
It's time to start layering.
Okay. Now, you know at home I would eat all the ricotta off of that, right?
Yeah. Everybody would, right? Everybody would have
You get
to.
the spatula in the bowl and you kind of eat from the bowl.
Yes.
All right, so now we're going to layer
grab our bolognese if you want to slide it on over here.
Okay. Is there a certain order that works best when putting this together?
Yes. So you want to start with your bolognese on the bottom. So you have that little bit of fat, so it's going to keep it from sticking. So you have that little bit of a layer, and then you'll add your baba ganoush after that. And then we're going to add our pasta sheets. And we'll do it a couple layers at a time. You'll be good to go.
All
if
right,
you
put
want
that
to,
there. Yeah, let me come over here. You tell me what's that.
Grab
now the
our
baba
baba
ganoush.
ganoush,
So
yeah.
let's talk about baba ganoush.
yes.
And I didn't know it came in containers, but this is.
You can buy it or you can make it homemade. Yeah.
I love it. Basically eggplant.
Yeah, it's
And
just ground up eggplant with a little bit of tahini, traditionally, and some lemon juice as well.
Well, okay. How much? How many layers do we want to do?
You're gonna do about half that
Half
container.
of that? Okay.
Yep. And then you're just gonna
kinda
smooth it
spread
all out.
Okay. Love that. It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah. And then we're gonna add a pasta sheet.
All right. Now those are,
So
where do we
these-
get? These are probably special.
So you can buy at the store the ready-to-bake lasagna sheets. They work perfectly fine. These ones I brought from the restaurant that we make in-house.
Oh,
But you can definitely use the store-bought
Fancy.
ones. They work really, really easily.
Yes.
So you're gonna put that layer down, and then we're gonna add a layer of our Alfredo first.
Oh, okay,
or
Alfredo.
What we like to use is Mornay, but right now for at-home purposes, make it nice, quick, and easy, we're gonna use an Alfredo sauce.
Okay, just straight out the jar.
Yep.
Easy. See, I love that you brought us shortcuts. So it doesn't have to be intimidating. I don't know how much you want to put on
You
here.
can add a little more.
A little bit
Just
more?
make a little even layer.
Okay. All right, do one more. Different layers, all the flavors kind of together, just so perfect.
Yes.
All
It's
right.
wonderful. And we're gonna add some of our ricotta cheese that we whipped up. Okay. I'm just gonna take
Look
about
at
half of
that.
it as well.
Homemade, fresh, delicious.
Yes. We're just gonna smear it around a little bit, try to flatten it out across the whole level.
I'm glad you took that level.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it quite so eloquent. You know, when you
practice, but it works.
Yeah. When you think
Yeah.
about the love that goes into some of these dishes, of course, enjoying at the restaurant is lovely, but it feels like homemade here in our Dinner DeeAs kitchen.
Yes.
Because of the layers, the love, the conversation. You take this project, I take this one, and that's a really nice special moment. What are family dinners made to you?
They're very important to me. I grew up every Sunday after church, we would go have Sunday supper at my granny's house. It was very important to us. The whole family would come, cousins, uncles, aunts, and we would just have a great time, spend that quality time with the whole family together. We also do at the restaurant, like our Sunday supper, which is made for specifically, you want to hand me the Aleppo? For people to be able to spend that time with their family and enjoy that quality time that a lot of places get too busy and they don't get to do that.
Right, and this is on the menu. Tell me what this is.
This is Aleppo. It's a type of pepper flake. It's not really spicy. We use it in ours. It just enhances it a little bit.
Doesn't smell it. Nice flavor, nice smoky flavor on that.
Yes.
Is that easy to find?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can find it at Publix. A lot of the grocery stores have it.
Perfect. And now we repeat.
Yes, now we're just going to repeat the layers again. We'll do another layer of the baba ghanoush, and then again the cheese layers, and then it'll be ready to go into the oven.
Oh boy, here we go. Another layer. Let's get it. Okay. The only hard part is waiting.
Yes, it's going to be the waiting.
That's right, the waiting game. So we're going to layer up. Now I see this is about 2 layers. Could we do as many as we wanted to?
Yes, you can.
It
just depends on how much you would like. The size of the dish. This is. I recommend an 8x10 dish. You can use an 8x8 if you would really like, and depending on how deep you want it to be. That's what I would use at home, is about an 8x10. You can also use like a 7x9.
7x9, right,
Yep.
kind of whatever you have.
Just whatever you have.
And how many would this size pan serve?
This is easily going to serve 4 people, which is good for like a traditional home size family.
Wow.
You easily can do more.
There'd be a lot of sleeping and resting.
Yeah.
After this one.
Depending on how hungry you are, it's definitely 4 people. It can be more than that, though.
Yes, true. Now, would you serve a different side with this?
No, traditionally, no. You would just kind of serve it by itself, straight, because it's got those vegetables in it. It's got the protein that you need. It's also already got your cheese and all that kind of extra flavors that you're looking for. If you want to go ahead and add some more.
Sure. Of the Alfredo?
Yeah.
You got it. Oh, this just looks amazing. I know what's going on the Sunday dinner menu this week.
It's so good.
Wow.
And the leftovers are great. You can easily reheat it, and you'll be ready to go with that as well.
Oh, this is always
super easy to
Don't you think it tastes better the day after?
Sometimes it
Some
does,
of those
yeah.
pasta
A lot of
and
lasagnas and stuff do. Yeah.
Okay.
They do.
And then was it cheese?
Cheese, yes.
Cheese? Okay.
Cheese.
I'll let you do your cheese. This is one of those things I'm sure people are going to bring Tupperware. Are you taking some to go?
Oh,
It's going to
definitely.
be in the fridge next day for lunch if it made it that far.
Like I like to bake it in one of those dishes that have the lid on it already, so that you can just, once it's cool, throw the lid on it, slide it right on into the refrigerator, and you're ready to go at that point.
This would be kind of impressive to take to that potluck.
Yes.
That you're going to. People would. Oh,
People would think it's like.
Score. Yes. You might get the ribbon that day.
You might. All right. There we go on that one.
Cheese. And what kind of cheese are we using?
This is fontina. You can also use mozzarella or provolone. It's really up to your preference. A white, stringy, rich cheese works the best for me.
All right. We're getting to the top, but we.
Yep. And this is going to be the last layer. We'll sprinkle a little more salt and a little more Aleppo, and we'll be ready to go.
Oh, that's good.
Here's our salt.
All right.
Okay.
One for you and one for me. This is probably going to add some great color to it, isn't
Yes,
it?
it adds a good color to the top of it as well. That's what you like.
All right. Look at that.
All right. And then we're going to just go straight into the oven. It's going to bake for,
Voila.
if you want to put it in there, I'll get that for you.
Okay,
It's gonna
how
bake
long
for
does
about
this cook?
45 minutes to an hour until it's done. You'll know it's nice, gooey, bubbly. It starts to get brown around the edges.
All right. One last break, and then we come back. We're going to pull out our bully golden brown pasta moussaka out of the oven, and Chef Morgan's going to share some tips on plating. Oh, that's important.
Yes,
And that's
very
ahead
important.
on Dinner DeeAs. So today we've been making a moussaka, but with an Italian twist, as it's pasta moussaka, a recipe brought to us by Chef Morgan Figs. She's from Allelo in St. Pete. Oh boy, we have been busy in here.
Yes,
it's been delicious. But before the break, we finish off our homemade ricotta cheese, whipping up some of those chilled curds and then a little bit of salt, adding some honey. Then we layered up the moussaka, starting with the lamb bolognese that we had bubbling away. Then we added some smoky eggplant, that's baba ghanoush. Then we added those wonderful fresh pasta sheets, then the alfredo sauce, then the homemade ricotta cheese, the shredded fontina cheese, a little sprinkle of salt, and the red pepper flakes that you called it?
Aleppo.
Aleppo. Oh, these cute names. Then we just baked it in the oven for about an hour. And we just happen to have one that we made a little earlier, and it is ready to plate and garnish and enjoy.
Yes.
Oh,
We are ready to go on it. So I cut us a slice out of here.
And I'm sure it's easier to let this cool, so I'm glad we got a few going
you let it
here.
Cool, it sets a little bit easier, so it makes it easier for you to be able to maneuver it out of the pan.
Now this is on their Sunday brunch, by the way.
Sunday supper.
Sunday. Oh my! I'm so used to brunch.
It's okay.
Sunday supper. It's amazing. This healthy portion.
Yes, it's a very healthy portion, but it's
gorgeous.
full of everything you want. You've got your cheese, your vegetables, your protein, all of it. So you'll be set.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
That just looks like love.
And then we're gonna garnish it up here with a little bit of pecorino and some fresh chives.
Cheese on cheese. Never anything wrong with that.
Never.
Right?
Can never have too much cheese.
I agree.
Right?
And then chives.
You just want to sprinkle a little bit of chives on top, or
Okay.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
And we are ready to go.
Plating is so important. Of course, we eat with
is.
our eyes first, right?
For sure.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. That's beauty. Should we just stare at it? No, I think we should enjoy.
We should
Chef, you
definitely
worked
enjoy
hard
it.
on this. All right, it's time. Let's dig in and enjoy. All right, you ready? You got to
Yes.
join me, of course.
Let's do it.
Okay. There's such thing as a TV bite, but today, all bets are off. All right, here we go.
Ready?
Bon appetit. Yes.
It's so good. It's just that nice, creamy, savory.
You
You have
hit
that
it.
touch of sweetness from the ricotta, but it just matches so well with it.
That ricotta blends beautifully. It is warm, it's soft, it's delicate. Nothing's overpowering. That bolognese is fantastic.
Yeah.
Topping it with the cheese and the chives and the veggies. Oh, I taste it all. That's outstanding. Sunday supper,
Thank you.
Allelo. You have
Yes.
to grab this recipe. The perfect pasta moussaka. By the way, that pasta just disappeared. It melted in my mouth. It was so lovely. You can get all the recipe details at dinnerDeeAs.com. We also have a link to Allelo, the St. Pete restaurant where you can sample all of the cooking of my guest, Chef Morgan Fix. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Angie Corley. These are more ideas for dinner. We'll have them coming up. That's what we call Dinner Diaz. Now go get to cooking.